Good morning, everybody. What's going on? My name is Tim Williams. We're here with the MLB First Look breakdown for today, April 7th. We got a huge 10-game early slate here that kicks off at 1 o'clock Eastern time. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tim. We've been breaking down spring training games, and now we're breaking down MLB games. So yes, you're in the right space. If you like baseball and you like DFS, that's awesome. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's just get right into it. We got a big 7-game slate here. We're going to kick it off with the Rays at the Red Sox. The Sun's out in Boston. We got a 9 over and under. Red Sox favored here. The pitching matchups pretty okay here. Yarbrough going against Evaldi. You could take a flyer on either. There's a lot of good spend ups on this slate, though. However, on the Rays side, Meadows at 4.4K is really cheap. I think he's going to have a big year. He has a lot of success against Evaldi with a home run. Red Sox side, they are the favorites. So Vegas thinks they're going to score more runs. I went with the Red Sox stack last night. I pivoted off of my chalky Rangers Blue Jay stacks. They ended up coming through for me in the extra innings. That being said, they did play extra innings last night. So who knows, maybe they'll be tired. Red Sox might be fired up. That could have been the game they needed. Nice comeback win. Christian Vasquez with a home run. He looks like a decent catcher spend up today. Other guys in play, Martinez, Bogarts, Verdugo, Hernandez, Devers. They're all kind of priced where they should be. So they have to produce, but they all have really good success against Yarbrough. Martinez 600 with 2 home runs. Bogarts has a few hits. Hernandez facing a lefty. Verdugo facing a lefty, 500 with a home run. Devers 385. He finally got his first hit last night with a home run. So it's pricey, but you definitely have some guys that are viable here. Next, we have the Royals and the Indians. Low implied total here at 7.5. Indians favorited. One thing we know about the Royals is they can smack the ball out of the ballpark. Merrifield, Benintendi, Santana, Perez, Soler, Isbell. I like this whole lineup. They're just too cheap. You can definitely get Merrifield in your lineup and still stack it if you really, really wanted to go that way. However, they are facing Bieber, one of the top spend-up pitchers on the slate. Bieber can be rocky. I wouldn't take my chances and go full-blown stack. You definitely maybe want to get a guy or two in there. Maybe he hits a home run. Junis pitching for the Royals. Don't like that. But Benintendi here, 3.4K value for sure. He's hitting 556 with a home run against Bieber. So if you're just trying to look at a guy to slot in there, or maybe slot in Soler because of the power, if he does start. Again, we don't have the lineups here. So on the Indian side, this team is not very good. Let's be honest. Jose Ramirez is the top spend up here. Rosario, 4.6K looks okay, but there's definitely better options out there. Fremil Reyes, 4.2K. He's just got to hit that home run to get you there. And then Bowers, 3.4K. I like his numbers against Junis, has a home run. He's cheap enough. If he's in this lineup, decent play. Next, we got the Twins, Tigers. Twins favorited here, 8 over and under. I've been watching these games the last few, and Cruz has just been mashing the ball. He looks insanely locked in. If he's in there, 5.1K is way too cheap for what he's been doing. He hits so well in Detroit. I don't know if I could fade him in this spot. He looks just too good. The ownership might be there, though, but this one you might have to ride with. Other guys, Polanco, 3.4K, really, really cheap. Hitting 295 against Boyd, 3 home runs. Garver, if he's starting, 4.4K, has good numbers against Boyd as well. Maeda looks like a pretty good spend up here. The Tigers do hit him pretty well, but 8.3K for Maeda, who's one of the top pitchers, I think, in baseball at this stage of his career. I think he looks good. Boyd, on the other hand, 6.9K, decent flyer. You could stack this game if you really wanted to. As far as pitching goes, the Twins do strike out heavily. However, they are favorited. If you're looking at hitters for the Tigers, Mazzara, 2.2K is just way too cheap for that power. And then Miggy, 3.9K. I guess you could go there, show up, decent play as well, have successful numbers against Maeda. That maybe will give you some leverage. Next, we got the Blue Jays Rangers. Blue Jays favorited here, 8.5 over under. Ryu 7.3, really cheap price tag on him going against Gibson. Not interested in Gibson. But for the Blue Jays, we do know that they can hit. They're just priced so high. Semien, I think he almost got a $800 price bump, something like that. So he's at 5.2K, does have a home run against Gibson. So there's no real value on the Blue Jays side, but they are pretty decent options. On the Rangers side, massive value for what they're doing. They're hitting the ball very well. 7th in average, 7th in on-base percentage, 9th in home runs. They do strike out. Guys in play, Gallo again, 4.1K, so cheap. He'll probably be highly owned. But Lau, massive game yesterday, 2 home runs, 3.6K. Then Dawes, Solak, decent stacking options if you're going that route. Ryo's a decent pitcher, though, so I don't know if you want to do that. But next, we got the Brewers and the Cubs. Cubs are favored here, 9 over under. There looks like there might be some rain in this game, so this is a potential delay situation. I'm not sure, but keep an eye on it. Woodruff, Hendricks, love the pitching matchup. High over under for pitchers in this slate, in this game particularly. But Woodruff 7-2, decent. Hendricks 8-1. I'll probably look somewhere else. But he's definitely in play. Cubs are slugging or not, so they're slumping right out the gate. 30th in average, 27th in on base percentage. In play, Rizzo for sure. The other guys are just priced up a little too much. Brewers, Wong in play, kind of a catalyst. 3.2K is really cheap, especially if you're trying to get like a Yelich in there. Narvaez has hit 2 home runs his last 2 games, 2.7K for a catcher. I don't know if he'll be in there because he's resting possibly, but overall, just keep an eye on this game as far as weather goes. Might be a fade situation, but definitely keep an eye on it. Next, you got the Dodgers A's. Dodgers favored here, 8 over under. Bauer on the mound against Luzardo. I like Bauer. 10.2K is probably worth that price tag, to be honest. Dodgers number 1 offense in baseball, bets 6K, etc. These guys are priced up. Pollock 3.7K, decent value here, especially if he's hitting high up in the order. On the A side, not much I like here. You're really just banking on the fact that Chapman or Olsen or one of those guys can hit a home run, and that'll give you leverage against Bauer. But Bauer just looks too good, Cy Young winner. Next, we got the Mets and the Phillies. Phillies favored it here, 8 over under against Peterson and Nola here. Peterson, decent pitcher overall, but not somebody I would roster in DFS in the spot. Nola, ace in the making type stuff. 9.4K is a decent price tag. If people are going for Bauer and other pitchers on the slate, Nola actually looks like a decent option. I think the Mets are very beatable, and clearly the Phillies are favorites here. So on the Mets side, though, Alonso 4.8K is way too cheap. 3 home runs against Nola. Conforto, cheap as well, 3.8K, not as successful. Lindor, 4.7, seems cheap as well. Keep an eye on that. The ownership might be high. It was high on the people were high on them yesterday, so I kind of faded them. But just keep an eye on that. There are definitely some decent options. And then for the Phillies, Hoskin, way in play here, 4.9K. It's pricey. People might not go that way because of the price. Smallest sample size in the world, but 1 for 2, 1 home run against Peterson. I think the Phillies might get this offense going. They're not hitting for average, and nor will they hit for average, I think, this year, but they will hit for home runs, and that home run total will go up as the season goes on. McCutchen, 3.2K is super cheap. Harper is the spend-up guy at 5.6K. Real Muto, 5K. So maybe this team gets a little bit overlooked. Keep an eye on that situation. Cardinals, Marlins, 7.5 over under, probably one of the lowest on this slate. Flaherty, Lopez. Lopez is priced way too cheap, 6.8K. I don't really love the Cardinals hitting overall in general. DeJong may be the one guy I'm interested at 4.4K. That's kind of about it. Flaherty is a guy who can walk a lot of guys, so Marlins, I'm not too stoked about their, chances today or with everything on the slate, but Duvall, Dickerson, the guys are just priced way too cheap. Flaherty is a good pitcher though, however, but he can walk a lot of guys. Next, we got the Giants Padres. No clear favorites here, but I would have to think it's the Padres, 7.5 over under. Gossman going against Snell. I don't really have any interest in any hitting in this one. I think this is going to be a nice pitchers duel, one of those classic National League 3-2, 3-1 games. Gossman in his first game pitched really well. Snell's got the strikeout potential. I would pay that price for either of them. Gossman would probably go really low owned. So if you really wanted to get different there, in play, Longoria hits lefties well. So 3.9K looks good. And then on the Padres side, missing, their best player. They got Pham in there. They got Machado as the clear spend up option. A guy that's a sneaky value play is Ha-Seong Kim. I've been watching this guy hit, and he's fast. He's got power. 2.7K is really cheap. Definitely an interesting flyer. He does take up your shortstop position, but I like him in that spot. And then finally, we got the White Sox and the Mariners. White Sox favorited here, 8.5 over under. Cucho going against Dunn. I don't like this pitching matchup at all. I don't even know, but hitting wise, White Sox are priced super, super high, but probably worth the price. Abreu, Robert, 5.7K, 5.9K. It's a lot. Robert at 5.9K, you could just go get Mookie Betts, right? Eaton, the value on this team by far is Adam Eaton at 4K. I don't know if he's still got a lot of home run potential, but he's kind of like the catalyst, get things going. White Sox, they're just rolling right now. And then on the Mariners side, done. No, thank you. Mariners strike out a ton. However, I don't have a lot of interest in Keuchel because he doesn't strike out a lot of guys. But Seager, kind of in play, 4.5K if you want to get different. And then Haniger, 3.6K, still way too cheap. So that's it. We got a massive 10-game slate here. My name's Tim Williams. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If this video helped you in any way, big thumbs up, subscribe, do it up. Good luck today. Have fun watching some day baseball.